Good afternoon, friends. This video I'm recording on one of the important and burning topic under GST input tax credit. And more importantly, when we are filing GSTR 9 and 9C for financial year 2018-19 and last date is 31st December 2020. As per section 16 subsection 4 of CGST Act, it would be earliest of due date for furnishing return under section 39 for the month of September following the end of financial year. So if we are talking about financial year 2018-19, then the due date for furnishing return under section 39 for the month of September would be 20th October 2019, or date of filing annual return, which would be 31st December 2020, earliest of date. So for financial year 2018-19, if we look at section 16 subsection 4, earliest, and that would be the last date for availing GST input tax credit would be 20th October 2019. Lot of dispute, and it's a burning issue in trade. We all are looking for the answer. I would like to put forth my contention, my humble submission, that I'm of the view that this should be, I'm using the term, as per the date of filing annual return. And what could be the ground? In the context, lot many writ has been filed in Calcutta High Court, Karnataka High Court, and these writs are being admitted and notice is being issued to the revenue. What could be our argument to say that this time limit would be date of filing annual return? And we are saying this time limit which is being prescribed under section 16 subsection 4 is arbitrary, unreasonable. In terms of Article 14, Article 19(1)(g), Article 300 capital A, violative to the Constitution of India. On other ground, let's start the point number 1. If we look at section 16 subsection 2 of CGST Act, it starts with a non-obstante clause. Notwithstanding anything contained in the section, no registered person shall take credit unless satisfy the 4 conditions. He should have tax invoice, he must have received goods and services, supplier must have paid taxes, and recipient is filing regular return. So I'm creating one situation that recipient and buyer has availed credit in the books of accounts, but he could not avail the credit in GST return. So if he has availed the credit in the books of account as per 4 condition of section 16 subsection 2 got satisfied, but he could not take credit in the GST return, GSTR 3B, whether this credit can be denied. If it is denied, then the non-obstante clause of section 16 subsection 2 and overriding notwithstanding anything contained in this section becomes otiose, is of no relevance. Is it the case? Ground number 1. Ground number 2, as I said, that the time limit as per section 16 subsection 4 is being challenged in the court, violative of Article 14, 19(1)(g), Article 300 capital A to the Constitution of India. Point number 3. If you look at point number 3, very interesting, as we all know whether GSTR 3B is a return under section 39 or not. Dispute was there, and Honorable Gujarat High Court has stated that 3B is not a return under section 39. Eventually then time limit for section 16 subsection 4 would be date of filing annual return. This is being challenged in the Honorable Supreme Court. It is being stayed and it is sub judice before Honorable Supreme Court. But recipient and buyer who has availed credit, they are bona fide. They have taken credit in the context this was a dispute, legal interpretation dispute, whether GSTR 3B is a return under section 39 or not. And what government did? GSTR 3B was introduced by way of rule. There was no reference of GSTR 3B in the Act. It was introduced by way of rule once this judgment given by Honorable Gujarat High Court by way of retrospective amendment by notification number 49/2019 dated 9th October 2019. They have stated GSTR 3B is a return under section 39. Can't it be argued that there was legal interpretation? Dispute persists. 3B was introduced by way of rule, and by way of retrospective amendment, they have stated 3B is a return under section 39. That is also got challenged. Next argument. In GST, there is a concept that unless you file preceding month return, you cannot file your current month return. For example, if you have not filed your GST return for July to December 2019, assume hypothetically, and if at all you have to file December 2019 return, then you have to make sure you are filing GST return for the period July to November 2019 at first go. Then only you can file your December 2019 return. If this is the case, my argument is on 20th October 2019, my GSTR 9 and 9C was pending for financial year 2017-18. So unless I finalize my GSTR 9 and 9C of 17-18, crystallize my credit in the annual return for 17-18, because last date for filing 9 and 9C for 17-18 was 31st January 2020. For some of the state, this date got extended. So I'm saying on 20th October 2019, which is time limit for availing credit as per section 16 subsection 4 for financial year 2018-19, even my 9 and 9C was pending for 17-18. Coming to the next argument, object clause when GST got introduced in the country. By 122 Constitution Amendment Bill 2017. What was the object clause? Seamless flow of credit. No cascading. If credit is being denied in the context of time limit, on pretext of time limit, is it not going to create cascading, because credit will not be available on inward and taxes going to be charged on my outward? Cascading will come up, going contrary with the object clause of GST introduced in the country from July 2017. Coming to the another point, if you look at comparison of forward charge versus reverse charge, whatever we are discussing from forward charge perspective. What about reverse charge? Let's say there was some liability of reverse charge of 18-19. Advocate raising invoice on 1st January 2019 pertaining to 18-19. Time of supply would be 61st day in terms of section 13 subsection 3 if it is not being paid. Time of supply has arisen. In case recipient has not paid the liability of 18-19 and he is making payment today, when I'm recording this in November, 26th November 2020. If it's making payment today, what happened? Whether credit is available? Can it be said that time limit restriction apply even for RCM liability? For the clarity purpose, wherever we are taking services, specified services, which is specified under section 9 subsection 3 for reverse charge purpose by notification number 13/2017, like this advocate invoice raised on 1st January 2019. POT time of supply would be 2nd March 2019. What recipient can do? Recipient is supposed to raise self-invoice under section 31 subsection 3 clause F of CGST Act. Now, today on 26th November 2020. And this is eligible document for availing credit in terms of Rule 36 Sub-Rule 1 Clause B, provided taxes are being paid. So what happened? This recipient, this buyer, will generate the self-invoice now, pay the liability, of course, along with interest at the rate of 18% per annum, because POT time of supply has arisen on 61st day, which is 2nd March 2019. So on this basis, this recipient can avail credit. And this is being endorsed by way of press release by CBIC on 3rd July 2019. And they have said, when you are filing your 9 and 9C, you should capture your RCM liability only in that financial year in which you are making payment. So 18-19 liability paid in 2021, you should capture in 9 and 9C of 2021. So this RCM liability can be shown in GSTR 3B of November 2020. Table 3 of GSTR 3B, avail the credit in Table 4A of GSTR 3B of November 2020. It has to be paid along with interest because a POT has arisen in the past. But credit is available. Is it not creating two separate provisions for forward charge and for reverse charge? There is non-compliance for the recipient under reverse charge for not generating self-invoice. General penalty may be levied on this recipient buyer, but credit is available. So RCM liability of 18-19 paid now, credit is available, but you are not allowing credit of forward charge. Going forward, what government is doing? We all know GST got introduced, and there was genuine and really interpretation issue when we were debating whether GSTR 3B is a return under section 39 or not. What government could have done, at least for the time being, many initiatives taken by the government. Maybe one of the initiative required for time limit for section 16 subsection 4. If I argue further for 1920, financial year 2019-20, if I assume 16 subsection 4 provision exists, the last date was 20th October 2020. Knowing the fact COVID-19 time period, lot of relaxation, but nothing is being announced for 1920 last date for availing credit in terms of section 16 subsection 4. My humble submission, government is doing many initiative, taking many initiative to each business, make GST good and simple tax. This is one of the burning issue. Notices are being issued to the taxpayer, to the consultant, and we all are looking for the answer. Maybe one-time relaxation must be provided towards section 16 subsection 4. Otherwise, litigation has started. Writs are filed in different high court, getting admitted also. Notice is being issued to the revenue. And I'm only saying, look at the argument which I put for our understanding sake, can be applied. Time limit of section 16 subsection 4 for restricting credit to the bona fide recipient and buyer when object clause of introduction of GST was to provide seamless flow of credit. My humble submission, if government authority watching this video, they must look into this subject matter. maybe one-time relaxation provide ease to lot many taxpayer, and in realistic sense we can say GST made good and simple, none other than by government for the taxpayer. So we both come forward and see this GST get success the way we have envisaged and introduced in the country on July 1, 2017. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned. Thank you very much.